My name is Jeffrey Colin, and I'm 22, and I am the middle child of 5. I moved to Charleston, South Carolina when I started my freshman year at Charleston Southern University. Well, before Jesus, I had a pretty normal life. I was going to school, I was making friends.
My name is Grant Harder. I'm 46 years old from the Seattle, Washington area. I moved down to the Summerville area about 3 years ago, and I have 2 daughters, Charlotte and Caroline, and my wife's name is Alicia. My life before I met Jesus was pretty normal and I would say very boring. I grew up in the suburbs of Seattle in an upper middle class household with a loving mom and dad, but God was not really a part of our household, really.
My name is Sydney Hazel, and I've grown up in Summerville, South Carolina my whole life with my mom and my dad and my 2 younger brothers. I actually did not grow up in a Christian household. My whole upbringing, really, I just kind of went through the motions of life, just going to school, making friends. I started getting in with the wrong crowd of people, and I just wanted to be, I guess, this world's form of accepted. There's definitely this void, because anytime I went out with my friends or I hung out with a certain guy or just wasn't doing, I guess, the right things, I would go home and I would just feel this emptiness, and I'm trying to fill it with these things, but they're actually not filling me at all.
It was one night, one of my friends asked me to come to church with him. This is the first time I've ever been to a student ministry. The pastor spoke about the love of Christ, that he loved me no matter what, that I was part of his creation. And with Jesus, I started to realize that he loved me even before I was born, that he loved me when I didn't love him back.
I had my first experience really when I went off to college as a freshman with some of my college teammates. We did a Bible study. I just knew there was something more, and I didn't like necessarily where my life was going. And so I had a friend, a really close family friend, who I basically invited myself to her church. Those of us from the Northwest, we tend to be very skeptical of God, of faith in general, and so that's how I was kind of brought up. So even from the point where I started attending this church with her to the point where I finally gave my life to Christ was still a good year probably of just going to church on Sundays. There was also this part of me that thought, once I give my life to Christ, well, that's it, fun's over. And it was just really stupid. It's a stupid way of thinking, and what I realized was that life was just beginning for me.
So I got accepted to Anderson University, and I went up there to run track and cross country. There was a lot of influence around me when I first started going up there. I really resisted. I didn't want to become one of those Christian freaks, as I called it at the time. But the more people I met, I just saw how genuine people were to me, and just people just loving on me. And I got invited to New Spring Church, actually. That was where I ended up getting saved and baptized up at school. So the more I just heard about who Jesus was and what he did for me, and that he actually died for me, and that all of these things in my head were just so unforgivable and terrible that I had done could actually be wiped clean. And it was very hard for me to grasp for a while, but the more I started going, the more I went to church and the more I heard those things, and it really sunk in, and I actually started to read my Bible and learn for myself what that was and who he was. I guess the more my heart just completely changed, and I wanted to have an actual relationship with Jesus.
Being part of the Ashley Ridge family has really helped me grow in my faith, because knowing that being better together is something that I value in my life right now.
Since I met Jesus, I've realized that I don't have to do all of these things to make myself perfect. I feel like I have become a better person, but it's not for me, and I'm not doing I don't want to give back for myself, but I want to be a better daughter, a better sister, a better friend, just because that's who Jesus wants me to be, and I want to be more like him.
It is such an awesome, awesome thought, just knowing that I have a Father in heaven who loves me. My life today is more about how I can give back than it is to receive, if you will. I didn't know.
I didn't know.
I didn't know.
It was simply Jesus.
It was simply Jesus.
It was simply Jesus.